Welcome back, everyone, to another episode here of Scamping with Jay. It has been a while since I've uploaded a video. Obviously, as you see, it is wintertime here in Russell, Illinois at the Old Chorus family farm. So I did have to buy some winter gear, and being a man that's not of great wealth, that took a little while. Spent a lot of Christmas money getting set up here. So anyway, what I want to start off with is my new ice fishing shelter, which doesn't have a floor, but doesn't really need it. There's only two windows. There's this one right here, and then there's one on the other side. I've got the heater going on inside. The windows are starting to fog up a little bit, so I think I need to get in there and open one of these and vent it a little bit. But what I wanted to start this video off with was... here's the outside temperature. According to my weather app, it is 22 degrees, feels like 7. But according to the thermometer I brought with me, it is 27.3 degrees out here, 62% humidity. And it doesn't feel all that cold. It's cold, but right now I'm just in sweatpants and a hoodie. I'm going to put some layers on here once I settle down and actually sit down around the campfire and have some beers with my buddy Cliff, who's coming down. He should be here in a little while. But, like I said, what I want to start off with is I'm going to go ahead and open this door up. All right. Then I'm going to grab this thermometer here. Oh, my finger's in the way. I'm going to grab the thermometer here. And this log for a little something to set it on. Ooh, it is toasty in here. It is. Nice. We're actually going to get an actual temperature reading. Go ahead and set that up right there. And for any of you wondering how safe this is, I have a carbon monoxide detector here strapped to the top, currently registering 0. This heater is the Mr. Heater Buddy heater. I'm sure everyone's pretty familiar with those. They're supposedly indoor safe, but they say to keep everything ventilated anyway. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just running a test with everything sealed up to see if I can actually make this CO detector, carbon monoxide detector, go off. There's the other window I was telling you about, and as you can see, it's got some condensation on it, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to vent this a little bit. Maybe I'll open this corner here and we'll go ahead and let some air in that way. As you see, the heater or the thermometer has already gone up to 31.6, 77% humidity. Well, let's go ahead and head back outside, seal this back up, and we will check that at the end of this video here and see exactly where we're at as far as keeping warm. Now, one thing I wanted to discuss was the pros and cons of winter camping versus summer or spring or fall camping. Obviously, the only con I can think of right now is it's cold. If you're not prepared for this, your good time could go south really fast if you don't have the protection you need. Most importantly, above all else, is layers and replacements. You don't want to sweat when you're setting up, hence why I'm just in sweatpants and a hoodie right now. Because if you sweat and get everything wet, then you're going to get cold really fast. So you want to do layers. You want to do a regular sock and then a wool sock. You want to do long johns and sweatpants, and then maybe some rain pants over those. Thermal shirt, long sleeve shirt, t-shirt, sweatshirt, winter coat. That way you can take layers off if you get too warm, put layers on if you're starting to get a little too cold. The replacements, have dry socks, have an extra pair of sweatpants. You never know when you're going to fall down or something's going to get, wet or whatever. So make sure you bring some replacements with you. Oh, that's really the only con I can think of. List of pros is endless. Pro, no mosquitoes, no flies, no bugs whatsoever. No need for ice to keep the beer cold. No need for ice to keep your food cold. No need for a cooler. I didn't bring a cooler out with me. I noticed my camping bag, once I packed up for this trip, actually closed without me having to sit on it and hold it down. Because I left my bug spray at home. I left my baby wipes at home because those will freeze. Just got regular toilet paper with me. The extra stuff I had to bring is a little bit heavier. The ice fishing shelter is heavier than my normal tent. Even though it's not much bigger, it's definitely taller. Propane tank, obviously, for the Mr. Buddy heater that's inside. I do have the adapter hose just so I can hook that up, and then I don't have to worry about buying those ridiculously expensive little Coleman containers of propane. Another pro, you're out here all by yourself. You can go just about anywhere, state parks, county parks. People just don't want to camp in the winter. And really, if you put some layers on, it's not all that bad. But don't tell them. Shh, keep it quiet, because us winter campers and people that are willing to get out here in the wintertime, it's nice. I may visit a state park or a county park, and I know you guys follow me. That's really not my thing, because I like to be alone when I'm camping. And the state parks and county parks and all that, those are just little tented suburban communities, so I try to avoid those. But I might be able to check one out this winter and hopefully get far enough away from other people to where I can actually have a good time. I guess another con would be lack of daylight. You're going to spend a lot of time in the dark. But if you're a person that just likes to drink beer and sit around a campfire, whether it's daylight or nighttime, that really doesn't matter to me. Activities, obviously, if you're a big hiker or a fisher, or you have kids that want to play on the playground, obviously, wintertime hampers that a little bit. Guess another con would be it's not quite as comfortable. I mean, layering up to stay warm is not quite as comfortable as swim trunks, tank top, and some flip-flops. But, I mean, sweatpants and tennis shoes really aren't all that uncomfortable. So, I mean, it is what it is, and this is what I'm working with. So this is just an overnight, nothing too long. Like I said, the heater's brand new, the tent's brand new. I'm close enough to home where I am totally okay with packing up and going home early if things go south. But so far, so good. That heater's been going in the tent now about, I'd say 20 minutes or so, and I didn't have a temperature reading, but walking in there, it really didn't feel much different than my house does. So hopefully, as long as that carbon monoxide detector doesn't go off, I know it's safe to sleep in there, and I know it's safe to stay warm in there. So we will cross that bridge when and if that alarm ever goes off. But I did test it. It seems to be working just fine, and considering people's lives are on the line when they make those, I'm sure the manufacturer did a good job. You saw earlier when I showed it's got a digital display, so it'll actually tell me the carbon monoxide levels inside. But before we go ahead and wrap this up and I get a fire going and I dip into my 12-pack of delicious Coors Banquet and my quarter bottle of Dr. McGillicuddy's that I'm going to kill this weekend, let's go ahead and check this thermometer and see where we're at inside the tent. You can see the condensation is still going pretty well in there, so that may be something I need to address, because I'm sure once I'm in there and breathing, it's going to get worse. But as warm as it is in there, I'm not opposed to opening these windows and letting some air in. I was actually also thinking about getting a piece of PVC pipe just to shove underneath it. And that'll bring some air in that way. But this is the learning trip. This is where we're going to figure out exactly what and where and how we're going to do it. So, all right. So we are back inside. And I'm not so sure this thermostat, dang it, I keep covering the camera with my glove, switching hands. I wasn't prepared for this one. So, getting back inside, according to this, it says 46.8, 92% humidity. So maybe the humidity is making it feel a little warm in here. It is, it's definitely warmer than 46.9 degrees in here, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'll let this sit in here for a little while. Oh, 47.1, just bounced up. I'm going to leave this in here for a little while. I'll take a picture of it and share a screenshot of a different temp, possibly, right now. And then we'll go from there and see how warm this actually gets. I said there is no floor to this ice fishing shelter because obviously it's for ice fishing. So you have to be able to, drill a hole to ice fish, but this is where we're at. So, carbon monoxide detector still at 0. So that's where we're at. So yeah, we'll make another video in the morning that I'll tack on to the end of this one. And we'll see how the experience went. Thanks for joining me. Sorry I haven't been around for a while, but we will see you next time. All right, welcome back to Scamping with Jay. It is about 10:30 p.m. Saturday night. I am in the tent because I ran out of firewood for the campfire. It was great out there. I didn't film any of it. Sorry, I just sat there and had a good time in the wintertime and drank some beers with my friend Cliff. So anyway, I'm in the tent now. I don't have a thermometer in here. I left it outside. I'm not going to go get it. It is 19 degrees outside, but I guarantee you it's a lot warmer than 19 degrees in here because I got the little buddy heater going on down here. So, but just so you don't worry, I still do have the CO2 carbon monoxide detector up there, and that window is open. But it's still warm as hell in here. So far so good. It's been all right. I've had a few beers, maybe smoke something that's legal in Illinois, but not in Wisconsin. But I'm in Illinois. But pretty good. Pretty good. I have no complaints over here. I expected the mistakes that I made to happen. Definitely need winter boots, regardless of how thick the wool socks are. You need some type of better shoe. Slip-on Vans on top of wool socks, or just slip-on Vans on top of wool socks. So, but I mean, I'm not suffering. I'm not dying. I wish my feet were a little warmer. Better gloves. Better gloves is a good idea. But I end up taking my gloves off just to like grab my beer or do something on my phone or something else. So I guess better gloves would help. just so when you put them back on your hands after doing whatever it is you got to do, your hands get warmer faster. Other than that, I think I'm ready. In 2 weeks, I'm going to hit 44 North. But for now, I'm going to make some dinner and catch some shut-eye and head home tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Welcome back, guys. This will be the conclusion to this video that I filmed from my house. Didn't feel like doing a video this morning before packing up and leaving because, well, I had certain things not go as planned. The big thing I need to figure out is the condensation problem in the ice fishing shelter. I woke up in the middle of the night. My right foot was really, really cold. So I turned the Mr. Buddy heater from low to high, warmed that up, covered that foot up better with the sleeping bag I was using. Couldn't really figure out what had happened, but my foot warmed up. Went ahead and finished sleeping. I got up about 7:15 this morning, and I realized that my foot was wet because it was literally raining in my tent from the amount of condensation that was just running down and then dripping straight down. The ice fishing shelter is only 5 by 5 by 5. So me only being 5'7", I still have to lay kind of diagonal and get really close to the walls in order to stretch out far enough to get some sleep. So obviously the back of my camping chair was wet from the dripping back there, which I guess was just missing my head by a matter of inches. And then, of course, my foot was wet, and that's why it was that cold. So if anybody has an idea, this is supposed to be a 2-person ice fishing shelter. So 2 people and a heater are supposed to be in there without a problem. And even with one of the windows half open, I still had quite the condensation problem with just me and a heater. So one of the ideas I have is I saw at Walmart they have these anti-moisture things that you just hang up. I don't know how fast acting they are, if they're capable of keeping up with such rapid condensation. That I don't know. So I may try one of those out. But like I said, if anyone's got any ideas about tent condensation in the wintertime, go ahead and hit me up in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. You saw earlier in the video what my setup is. It's not great, but it really shouldn't be raining in my tent in January. Other than that, I think everything else went really well. A warmer sleeping bag would probably be in order, but with the Mr. Buddy heater on high, it keeps that tent pretty warm. Even low kept it really warm, but I did have to turn it up after I opened up the window more, just to maintain a temperature in there. And of course, when I got up this morning, it was 8 degrees and it was pretty cold. It was another reason I didn't make a video this morning. Didn't sleep entirely well. Obviously had a hangover from the few beers I had when Cliff came down. And as much as I like the Old Chorus Family Farm, it is a haul back into that campsite unless you have a truck or a vehicle you don't care about where you can just, drive back there. You need something with a little bit of a higher stance, I guess, for a better word, because going into the pasture, it is a little bit of a hill downhill. Our Honda Fit sits high enough, but our Pontiac Grand Prix sits way too low to the ground. I'd end up bottoming out if I tried to go into the pasture there to drive back to the site. So, and with all the winter gear and the lack of snow, my friend Cliff also gave me a sled, which worked great on the snow, but trying to drag it through grass or drag it across the street, it didn't work out so well for that. So it was a little bit of a workout. I probably should have just brought my cart with me this time around. But lesson learned. Like I said, this was the learning trip, and we'll go forward from here. So that's why I didn't make a video this morning. I just figured I'd wrap things up here and conclude it here. So thanks again. I will be having more videos here in a couple weeks when I hit 44 North. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Let's see if we can get me to 100 subscribers. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. There it is.